Here's my Henry survival rifle, AR-7. I got an idea, and it's just thinking at this point, but I thought I would go ahead and start it. I wonder what would happen if I could put a scope on that, and then put a wood stock on it that would be able to hold a bipod, and use a drill press, and then do a lot of shaping. I might be able to come up with some wood stock. How would I attach it? I have some vague ideas. The first thing I need to do is make that cut and glue those two pieces together to make a solid block of pine wood. Then I clamp these two together and glue it and let it dry a couple days. There'll be a hole drilled, something like that. Or at least that's what I got envisioned. I don't have the tools to drill all the way through this, so I had to bring it on to Fort Hood, where I'm at now, outside of a place called the Apache Arts and Crafts Center. I didn't film inside because it's too loud, but they have a wood shop, and I was able to drill the hole all the way through using their drill press. So we'll take this home. We got a lot of shaping to do on it, but I think it'll work. Okay, the top's off. I'm starting to whittle the shape of what I cut on the bandsaw. I'm using two knives. Believe it or not, this little Leatherman squirt, I don't even know if they make these anymore, is a very sharp blade for cutting long. And then when it comes time for cutting the shorter cut or a curve cut, like here, I'm using this Boy Scout leader knife. It seems to work pretty well. Makes a little mess, so whittling's done. And now I'm using a belt sander. Let me show you how I'm doing it. There, you can kind of see it. Now we can get it to where it's a nice smooth surface. We'll go from there. I've got it sanded down a little bit now. So that's what I have in mind for it. How am I going to get this thing to fasten in here? Right now it's loose. I mean, it fits pretty good, but it's still not going to be stable. So I need to figure out a way to get it stable, and here's my plan. I hope it works. What I'm going to attempt to do is drill holes to make these screws come out just barely touching this. I'll put one bolt and nut there, one approximately here, and then I'll put some here to the side there to stabilize it from the sides. So I'm going to ditch the barrel for now and just use this adapter. I'm using my Dremel drill press here to start the screws. That way I know they'll be straight in. In the beginning I had to go on post to get their drill press, and I'm thinking this will work. We'll see how it goes. There, that one's in. I have completed the first two, the bottom ones, or at least the drilling, and I've countersunk it, and it'll come out. It's just barely sticking up, but that's enough for it to grab this. On the front one, I had to countersink it a little bit more. Man, what do you call these things? Getting old. I can't even remember the names of them anymore. The flat wood bit. Then I finished it out with a 1/4 inch bit. I need to get these set in the side. And this is kind of tense. Okay, that one's good. Now I need to put one more on over here on the other side. That one's in too. Next step, I'm going to use some JB Weld. It's a very strong epoxy to keep these nuts in. My experience with JB Weld's been good. This power driver, the chuck went out over 10 years ago. So instead of tossing the drill, which is a great drill, I took JB Weld and put it in there and cemented this bit in. I built this shed with this like that. Here we go. I got the steel and the hardener, and I'll mix them together using this. And once that happens, I got 6 minutes before it hardens. I'm going to do the easiest ones first. I'm going to put it on the sides here, and then hope the nut will go in without getting it in the threads. I can sand down whatever overflow there is later. Alright, first nut. There, got the first. That one's done. Let's get this one here. Same procedure. Yeah, it's already starting to harden. Well, that's because it's been 5 minutes and 30 seconds since I started. So it's starting to set already. Alright. We'll see how that goes. It's set, but not dry yet. I've scraped off what I can, and we'll just wait a day. And then by then it should be totally hard. I think we're going to have a solid mounts for this. Good to go. It's set fairly well. The bottom parts are really good. One last thing I got to do is to put the hole in here for the strap holder. That'll be the connector for the bipod. It'll go over that hole like that. Next step was do a trial fitting. I'm putting a couple layers of duct tape here on it to protect the metal paint, or basically to protect the paint. I also put tape there too to protect the actual barrel. The AR-7 that I bought came in this nice carry bag, and it comes apart here. It's got U.S. Survival on the side stamp there. The background was it was designed for Air Force pilots in the 50s. The designer, from what I understand, the same guy that designed the AR-15. This is an AR-7. He worked for Armalite, which is also the company that designed the AR-15. This little handle comes out, and I'm going to drop the magazine. You drop the magazine here, it's empty. The chamber is empty. There's your chamber. and or your bolt. Well, you can kind of see there. Then the barrel comes in here. You can see with the tape, it didn't bother it. And also this comes with it. I had to take the front sight off. It's this right here. So we put this thing over here. We should put this thing here back. And then the receiver slides in there like that. There's a screw right here. You tighten that up. Once that's on, there's that pin there. There's a pin right there that goes in here, and then you have to kind of press down on this a little bit, and then you tighten up this thing here like this. Make sure it's tightened down tight. Once you get that done, the rifle is at its normal. The magazine goes in here with these two little edges there forward, and then it's released here like that. The reason I did this is there's no place to grab. That's going to get hot real fast. Why this thing was made. Put her in there like so. Fits nice and tight with that tape. Just finishing up here on the last screw. This one goes down quite a ways. There. That is very tight, very firm. I have an excellent grip here. So here. Okay, the bipod is on. All right. It's pretty steady. I'm going to use that aim scope there. I put several coats of black spray paint on. And we got a few places where I got to redo it. So I'm going to put it on this homemade rack here. Spray paint it one more time. The completed project. Looks pretty sharp, huh? Of course, I'll have to wait till I get to a place where I could shoot this. Now, I have one other setup for this. There's some adjustments to be made with the laser sight. Here's the final configuration that I plan on using for it, and that is the laser sight. Older folks like myself are probably most vulnerable to nighttime break-ins, so would definitely give me an advantage. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press the like button and subscribe.